Understanding the peculiar behaviors of our animal companions can often be an enigma. Why does your dog bark at that tree? Or why does your cat consider your shoes a suitable substitute for a litter box? Animals have an uncanny knack for surprising us, despite being cherished members of our lives. In a tale that defied expectations, a dedicated dog breeder found herself astounded by her beloved Labrador. This pregnant pooch was on the brink of delivering a litter of pups. Yet when the moment arrived, an inexplicable and unforgettable event unfolded. Leah Barrett, a native of Kent, had earned a reputation for breeding exceptional champions, with her black labs ranking among the best in town. These dogs were no strangers to the glitz and glamour of dog shows, but there was no competition on the horizon that could rival the shock Leah would experience when her pregnant black Labrador, Bo, left her utterly stunned. Bo was always destined for greatness. Her lineage graced the prestigious Crufts Dog Show, a top-tier competition celebrating the finest in purebred canine companions. It was a fiercely competitive event, and emerging victorious was an esteemed accolade. Therefore, when Bo became pregnant, Leah was overjoyed. As a breeder, her livelihood depended on welcoming new puppies into the world, and the prospect of this litter following in the footsteps of their illustrious ancestors filled her with hope. Initially, the pregnancy seemed routine, free of complications, with Bo exuding happiness and robust health. Leah eagerly awaited the arrival of the new Labrador pups, but the vet's prediction of 5 or 6 puppies left her with even loftier expectations. Leah believed in her pups, estimating the litter size to reach 8 adorable dogs. Little did she know that remarkable surprises lay ahead. When Bo entered labor, Leah quickly realized the stunning nature of this pregnancy. The vet had advised that each pup's delivery would take about an hour, but the reality defied those expectations. Leah stood in awe as 7 little labs emerged from Bo's womb in a mere 40 minutes. The surprises continued as the puppies kept coming, numbering 8, then 9. Leah couldn't fathom when this extraordinary birthing marathon would conclude. Suddenly, her heart sank as she discovered that one of the puppies had become trapped in Bo's birth canal, obstructed by a loose placenta. Panic gripped Leah and her sister, for the thought of losing one of Bo's offspring was unbearable. Time was of the essence, and there was no opportunity to summon a medical professional. Leah and her sister resolved to take matters into their own hands, determined to save the imperiled pup. After 40 tense minutes of delicate maneuvers, they finally liberated the stuck puppy from the birth canal. However, their relief was short-lived as they beheld a sight that struck terror into their hearts. The newborn puppy lay still, not breathing and showing no signs of life. A dreadful moment ensued, but Leah and her sister remained undaunted. Armed with their research knowledge, they employed suction equipment to extract fluid from the tiny pup's lungs. After an agonizing 10 minutes, which felt like an eternity, the newborn miraculously began to breathe. Leah and her sister rejoiced, their celebration holding a twofold significance. New mother Bo had accomplished something truly remarkable. To everyone's astonishment, Bo had given birth to an astounding total of 13 puppies. Given the usual Labrador litter size of 6 to 8, Leah was overjoyed. Bo's remarkable feat was undoubtedly worthy of a Crufts champion. Yet, the challenge of caring for this sizable brood would prove more demanding than anticipated. A pressing issue arose. Bo had 13 puppies, but only 10 teats. Leah had to awaken in the middle of the night to ensure the smaller ones received their fair share, guaranteeing each of Bo's offspring the care, health, and attention they deserved. Among the 13 puppies were 7 boys and 6 girls, each bearing a name reflecting their distinctive personalities. Some pups immediately stood out due to their endearing quirks. The runt of the litter was aptly named Stormy to bolster his spirits. Another pup, known for frequent howling, was christened after the singer Paloma Faith, and the puppy who narrowly escaped peril. Leah lovingly bestowed upon her the name Hope. The 13 siblings served as living proof of the unpredictable nature of our animal companions and showcased the resilience demonstrated by Leah and her sister when they saved the vulnerable puppy. However, it was clear that the litter wouldn't remain in their care for long. Managing 13 puppies can be a daunting task, even for the most experienced dog owner. As a result, 11 of the pups found new and loving homes. The lineage of champions came at a price, though. Leah asked for €950 for each purebred pup, which roughly translates to $1,222 in USD. If she managed to sell all the Kennel Club registered dogs at this price, her efforts would have brought in over $13,000. Not a bad outcome for a day's work. Leah recognized her good fortune on multiple fronts. Animal pregnancies can be fraught with complications, a lesson she might have gleaned from the experiences of Chris Hughes and Marisa Caligire. One glance inside their home revealed that their lives revolved around dogs. By 2013, Chris and Marisa had opened their hearts and home to a remarkable 8 dogs. With creatures of varying ages, breeds, and personalities, there was never a dull moment under their roof. This unique situation sparked an idea that would change their lives. They embarked on an adventure of their own, launching a reality show named Life in the Doghouse. Over the course of several years, the YouTube series amassed a devoted following eager to witness how this Ohio couple managed their bustling household filled with dogs. Despite their already brimming responsibilities, Marisa and Chris couldn't resist the thought of providing another needy animal with a loving home. Their hearts led them to make a significant decision. In the fall of 2013, they made their way to the Cuyahoga County Kennel, where they were met with countless pairs of hopeful eyes peering out from behind iron cages. Marisa's heart ached at the realization that they could only rescue one of these deserving animals. But a particular interaction left no room for doubt in Chris and Marisa's minds. When they approached a beautiful pit bull named Story, it was an instant connection. However, something about her was noticeably different. Story's conspicuously swollen belly told her entire story. She was heavily pregnant. The shelter staff mentioned that she was expecting 6 puppies at any moment, a statement that surprised them given Story's advanced state. The couple grappled with a dilemma. On one hand, they were eager to welcome Story into their family. On the other, the prospect of caring for this pit bull and her puppies, in addition to their existing 8 dogs, posed a significant challenge. With only minutes to decide, they followed their hearts and brought Story home. Her new brothers and sisters greeted her arrival with boundless joy. Yet Story began displaying concerning signs of illness. Chris and Marisa speculated that her condition was linked to her pregnancy. Further research revealed that expecting dogs in high-stress situations sometimes exhibited reluctance to give birth. Recognizing the urgency of the situation, Marisa and Chris hurriedly drove to the veterinarian's office with Story whimpering in the backseat. Their other 8 dogs observed as they sped off, a scene filled with concern. Even the veterinarian shared their apprehension. Fearing complications with Story's pregnancy, they prepared for an ultrasound that would hopefully provide answers without devastating consequences. The shocking revelation was that the animal shelter's initial assessment of Story was completely off the mark. They had estimated she was pregnant with only 6 puppies. However, the reality was astonishing. She was carrying an incredible 12 puppies. Story's life was now hanging in the balance, and she needed to deliver her puppies quickly. Unfortunately, it wasn't safe to perform a C-section on the proud mother. Story had to endure the birth of her litter alone. Chris and Marisa could only provide comfort and hope for the best. What unfolded the next morning was nothing short of astonishing. As if sensing that she was finally safe, Story brought 12 happy and healthy puppies into the world, just in the nick of time. Chris embraced the new mother, who had earned a well-deserved rest. With the puppies content and healthy, Chris and Marisa faced the challenge of managing their growing canine family. Their household now housed a total of 21 dogs, enough to overwhelm even these seasoned canine owners. Realizing that they couldn't provide adequate care for all of their canine companions, Marisa and Chris turned to their extensive network in the animal world. With their connections, they managed to find loving homes for all 12 puppies. However, this was not the only change that unfolded in their household. In an effort to create more space and ensure Story's continued well-being, Chris's best friend, Ryan, generously offered to adopt her. Gratefully accepting the offer, Chris and Marisa knew that Story would be in capable hands, and they were comforted by the knowledge that the pit bull could still visit them anytime. After the whirlwind of events in the past few days, Chris and Marisa finally felt a sense of relief as they sat back and relaxed with their 8 remaining dogs. It appeared that their lives were returning to a semblance of normalcy. However, before long, Chris surprised Marisa with an unexpected question. In a heartwarming moment, Chris asked Marisa to marry him, and without hesitation, she joyfully accepted his proposal. They celebrated their love surrounded by family and friends in a ceremony that naturally included a couple of their beloved canine companions, sealing their commitment to each other. Not all canine behaviors can be easily explained, as Catherine Spalisic of Australia discovered in a dramatic incident involving her adopted Doberman Con. Aware of the potential risks of adopting a large dog with an abusive past, Catherine and her husband decided to welcome Con into their family. They introduced Con to their 17-month-old daughter, Charlotte, despite his troubled history. A few days after Con's adoption, while Charlotte was playing with Con in the family garden, Catherine noticed something that sent shivers down her spine, especially for a parent. Catherine was startled to witness Con snarling and pushing Charlotte around. It was a nightmare scenario for any parent, and it must have been terrifying for little Charlotte. Before Catherine could react, Con, the usually gentle giant, grabbed Charlotte by her diaper and hurled her across the yard like a rag doll. Catherine rushed to her child's side, desperate to understand what was happening. Con's behavior had completely transformed, and it was as though he was a different dog. Catherine was racing toward Charlotte when she noticed something that made her pause. Charlotte, her 17-month-old daughter, was pointing at a suspicious object that had slithered away into the grass. Catherine's realization was sudden and chilling. Con had been trying to protect Charlotte from grave danger. In their yard lay a large king brown snake, one of the most venomous snakes in Australia. Catherine grasped that Con's aggressive actions were not intended to harm Charlotte, but were his desperate attempt to swiftly move her to safety. While Con had saved Charlotte, he had also become the snake's new target. Catherine had no time to waste as she suddenly realized that Con's life was now in grave danger. After ensuring her daughter's well-being, Catherine turned her full attention to Con. Though he had heroically saved Charlotte's life, Con had been bitten on the paw by the snake and had collapsed to the ground, leaving Catherine in shock. Determined not to give up on Con, who had selflessly saved her child's life without hesitation, Catherine rushed him to a nearby emergency veterinary clinic. The urgent question was whether Con could receive an anti-venom injection in time to save him. Con's condition was dire, and his first night at the clinic was rough. However, there was a glimmer of hope as he gradually pulled through. The clinic staff were astounded to see that he even had an appetite when he woke up the next morning. Although Con had a long road to recovery ahead of him, it was a relief for Catherine to know that he would ultimately be okay. She was overwhelmed with joy and gratitude, knowing that her family's canine hero was going to pull through. In the years that followed, Catherine remained thankful for her decision to adopt Con and rescue him from his abusive past. Con's selfless act of heroism proved that the saying held true: adopt, don't shop. Bringing Con into their family wasn't just acquiring a pet, it was welcoming a courageous and devoted new member into their family fold.